Alright guys, as you guys know, obviously freaking watch anime. I mean, one of my biggest videos on my freaking YouTube channel is just a clip of a moment from Dragon Ball Z, which is actually from the actual subtitles. He does actually say the R word, which I can't say. I think it would get demonetized, but then again, that video was still monetized, even though I guess he didn't technically say it. Whatever. You know, I like anime, I'd be watching that shonen stuff. Usually the good stuff. I'm not gonna freaking watch Bleach. I've heard that stuff's not that good, but anyway, that's off topic. I want to talk about Hunter x Hunter and the freaking Chimera Ant Arc, how freaking long it is, because I think this arc needs to be explained for rewatchers or even a new person, because the titles I've came up with for these like sub-arcs are not that bad. They're not that bad. They're not going to contain like as much spoilers, so I'm going to explain this arc for people who want to like either rewatch it, because there's a lot of people rewatching Hunter x Hunter now, I think. And because it's just so long, you never expected this anime to have such a freaking long arc. The arcs before were like really short. They're like 20 episodes long. Like Phantom Troop was only like 30, even a little bit shorter. I don't think it even reached 30, but that's off topic. I want to compare this to the Naruto Shinobi War arc. I have a notepad here. I'll probably leave like an image here. It's just stuff I've written down about this arc. Now, little did you guys know that the manga for this is immensely long. So I saw some comments on some Chimera Ant clips. Some people are like, I wish this was animated in the 2003 or 1993 anime style. I'm like, are you insane, dude? You know how much filler they would have to put in to pad this out to the length? Because the manga length is from 2003 to 2011. That's really freaking long. If you're a gamer, that's from that's the GameCube generation to the freaking like Xbox PS3 generation. That's how long that is. Here's another comparison for the anime watchers. How long did the freaking manga last? The Naruto Shinobi War arc lasted from 2010 to 2014. This means the manga lasted twice as long as one of the longest anime arcs of all time. Granted, I'm glad they did this like right when it actually finished. Yeah, I'm glad that they actually like waited until the arc finished, I guess, to adapt it or something, because the freaking Naruto War arc just was mashed down with filler, making the anime just extremely freaking long. If it didn't have the filler, I believe it would be like just the same length as a Dragon Ball Z arc or something, but that's besides the point. There might have been a lot of hiatuses in the Chimera Ant arc now that I think about it, because I think this is when he started doing hiatuses, so that's actually out of the question. I don't know why I even said that. The first episode of the 2011 anime premiered one day before the manga ended. I'm not even joking. I don't know if they did that on purpose or something, but the very first episode premiered on August 2nd, 2011, and the manga, the end of the arc was on October 3rd, 2011. I don't know if that was done as a coincidence or what, but that's an interesting timing. The 1999 anime ended in 2004. It turned into an OVA, I believe, around 2003 or maybe 2002. It turned into an OVA for some reason. I think it's because they were unsatisfied with the Phantom Troop ending. So it ended in 2004, a year into the arc, and if I'm mistaken, that's when it took a hiatus. I haven't done research on the hiatuses or whatever. So yeah, I wrote down in the notepad, so if anyone wants a freaking adaptation with that 2000 style, good luck, because your anime is going to have a ton of filler, and people would be pissed off if this good show had filler. Luckily, Yu Yu Hakusho didn't have that much filler. Only had like 2 episodes of it. But yeah, I don't think there's not that many like really freaking good shows that have filler. I can't wait for the day when JoJo's gonna have filler, because at some point they're gonna catch up at some point. Anyway, the arc itself is 60 episodes long. Yeah, exactly 6. That's 7 episodes longer than the entirety of Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, which I haven't watched entirety yet. I'm at like episode 30. It's also the average length of every Dragon Ball arc. That's including with filler. I don't feel like freaking redoing the calculations I did without filler. I really don't want to do that, because I found out, like, the only one I didn't calculate was the Saiyan Saga. I know that's like 30 episodes. But yeah, the Frieza arc, I'm talking the entire thing is 63 episodes. Yeah, Cells 60, and even Majin Buu. That's excluding like the beginning stuff when Gohan is in high school and like the ending episodes. Excluding that, it is actually 60 episodes long, which I didn't expect. I thought it would be like 90 or something, but it is actually 60. Anyway, let's get into these subdivisions. I'm gonna explain why I did these subdivisions in the arc. This is kind of like what Funimation did with the original Dragon Ball, what they did with the Red Ribbon Army arc, and just the entire Namek arc, they split it into 3 parts. This is kind of what I'm doing, but it's even more split up, just in case you want to rewatch a very specific part of this arc. This is me coming from a Dragon Ball watcher that had the arcs just completely split up by Funimation. If I'm being honest, I kind of like what they did and made it easier to rewatch the show. Let's say you don't want to freaking rewatch the entire Namek arc because you don't know the specific episode, because let's be honest, shonen episodes are kind of forgettable. The numbers at least, and the titles as well. I just want to know the general area where the episode is at. But anyway, we have the first NGL infiltration. I actually originally had first, but they technically don't infiltrate. Well, the other people come in and infiltrate it, but I have that arc under a different name because the focus is more towards that other thing. But I'll explain that later. Basically, NGL infiltration, Gon, Killua, literally come back from freaking Greed Island to Kite, and they do the thing. They go to NGL because they've heard of these Chimera Ants because Kite was talking to them about it. And it ends at episode 85, and if you've watched it, you know what freaking happens. It's kind of freaking insane what happens. That's when that show gets freaking real. Yeah, they infiltrate, kill some Chimera Ants. I think Gon's first kill is in this arc. I don't think he's killed anyone before, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know, I think he killed somebody in the Phantom Troop arc. I don't know. Yeah, but his first, I believe, kill is in this arc, which is kind of cool. Yeah, but then we have the Rocario training. Remember, what the heck is Rocario? That's where Gon, Killua end up with the most weirdest freaking hunters ever. You have freaking Quabra from Yu Yu Hakusho as a freaking hunter. Like, how did they do that? But I mean, then again, it's the same freaking author, so whatever. He trains his like aura wherever with a Biscuit again. So if you're coming off of Greed Island, yeah, you get more of her. Spoiler alert. And Killua overcomes his fear or whatever. It takes off the freaking needles. Actually, that's kind of a spoiler. I might cut that out. Might put in a might literally splice in that spoiler alert into there. Anyway, so yeah, it ends on episode 90 when something interesting happens with Knuckles' ability, and let's just say, spoiler alert, Nen is gone for like 3 days. Actually, it's actually not that big of a spoiler, so I don't know. You kind of infer that from the freaking ending because Gon's like crying in there in the freaking first Chimera Ant arc ending. Which, by the way, they put like the ending switch at a really weird time. I think they didn't put it at like the beginning of a certain part of this arc or whatever. But anyway, I don't know. You have the birth of the king. Not that much of a spoiler. I mean, it's in the freaking opening. It lasts from episode 91 to 97. It ends when Gon and Killua come back and show their strength to Morel or whatever. It's kind of the birth of the king arc is just having them fight the other hunters, just having the soldier ants and the squadron leaders just fight. It's kind of a little bit of a boring arc. But some cool world building does happen. The East Gurto infiltration. I think I explained this a little bit. This is where Gon and Killua come back, and they infiltrate this place. They meet some allies, actually, from the Chimera Ants. There's some pretty cool fights in here, I cannot lie. This is a pretty cool arc, but the freaking Killua arc in the ocean was so boring. It was like I'm watching a Dragon Ball Z fight or something. But yeah, it's not that bad of an arc. And you have the freaking palace invasion. This is a pretty freaking big deal. This is the longest subdivision, because, I mean, it freaking takes up the entire freaking thing. Like, Jesus Christ. It's like the Shinobi War within the Shinobi War. I don't know how to describe it. What's the longest part of the Shinobi War? When Obito gets introduced? Yeah, that's like the longest part. Yeah, so this sub arc is so long. You can split into, I don't know why I put 3 main parts here. I'm gonna change that because I actually ended up splitting into 4 because I realized about the last part was just way too different from the other part. This first part, I don't know what to freaking call it. I don't know what to call it. It's just like kind of a boring first part of this arc. It's just Knuckle and Shoot and Morel fighting the two guards, Yuppie and Poof. That's it. Nothing really important happens. Netero arrives though. I believe, yeah, this is the entirety when he starts fighting. Episode 121 is the only one I don't think he's there yet. That's just an episode I want to include because that's when Gon just goes freaking crazy. He just goes insanely mad at that episode. I think that's when Poof arrives or something. So just wanted to include that as like a sort of like a starter of that arc. Then you have the climax, and you know why it's freaking called the climax. Honestly, episode 126 is, I can't forget that episode number now. What happens in that episode? I couldn't forget it. And you can't forget episode 131 either. You literally just cannot forget those episodes. One of the best parts of the show. You see, I think it only lasts like 4 episodes, the climax. At least that's what I like to call the climax. And then I call this in the negotiation, not the conclusion, because of what happens in the arc. I think it makes sense for like a cool, edgy title like what Naruto does. So episode 135, if you know what happens there, you know why it freaking ends here. I freaking hate that that episode, but at the same time I love it. And then you have just the one episode epilogue at episode 136. That is the Chimera Ant Arc Explained. Yeah, kind of a freaking insanely long arc. Not as long as freaking that One Piece arc I don't know the name of. The Shinobi War arc is, thank God, neatly organized in by I don't know, Viz. I think Viz organized the arc for it to actually somewhat make sense. Thank God. I know. Imagine just watching just that entire freaking arc. But yeah, that's just all I wanted to have in this video. Just explain my sorting, and yeah, that's it. See ya.